All right, you guys, my name is Julius Gilger. Welcome to our team call. I'm excited to have on Orlando today. Orlando has crushed it. He wrote 22,000 in the month of October, working basically from home. He's been virtual. He's been traveling. He's going to share with us what has allowed him to be successful working virtually. So glad to have you on, my man.
Yeah, I'm grateful to be here and talking to you guys. So again, my name is Orlando, and I'm just going to jump into things, kind of give you guys some pointers. I heard for the most part, all of these guys are working in the field, right, Julius?
Yeah, most of our team is in the field. We do have folks transitioning to virtual. And so, we're working through that process. So if you can share with us, how you got started with Family First Life, what you did before, and then kind of jump into what does that look like for you now?
Yeah, so first of all, I was at the practice company. I'm sure some of you guys know the name for legal reasons. I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I used to work there for about a year. And at the beginning, I was making lots of money as a 19-year-old in the insurance industry, fresh into it. I was making good money. And then at the end, politics got in the way. The resources weren't the same. Ended up with $500 left in my bank account. Bills are due for the family. My dad is like, he had COVID in March, almost passed away. He's talking about going back to work. I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't the case. This is not it. So I looked around, got in touch with Josh Williams, right? And I gave him a call. I'm like, look, I got $500. That's all I have. I need to get this going. What do we do? He said, book a one-way flight to Tampa. And here I am booking a one-way flight to Tampa. After booking, I have $300 to my name to meet a complete stranger. In my first 2 weeks, I made $15,000 with FFL. So that's why I say FFL is the truth. Now, of course, everything I was doing at first was in the field, just like you guys. Everything, I love the field. And every once in a while, I like to still pop out in the field because I like seeing clients face to face. Now, when it came to transitioning into virtual, at first it was hard. You got to realize there's going to be a learning curve. My first week, I only wrote $2,500 virtually. Which that wasn't good because I had just gotten over the learning curve in the field, and I was doing about $10,000 every week in the field. Oh, I think I'm about to sneeze. Okay, wonderful. And so from there on out, I started doing this virtual thing, had to fail forward multiple times. And then it's gotten to the point that in these last 3 weeks, I've been able to consistently produce over $10,000 virtually, right? And I've issued last month 22 grand and submitted 37,000. The biggest issue that most people have when it comes into transitioning into virtual, Julius, and I think you would agree with this, is actually transitioning into the presentation, right? So I call you up and now I got to take you from pretty much almost booking an appointment, how we're used to in the field, to actually taking them to grabbing a pen and paper so we can get our presentation going. So Julius, I'm gonna role play this with you real quick. That way, I can walk through the process and your people know how to do this. Okay, sounds good?
Yeah, that's great. Let's do it.
Okay, perfect. Hey, Julius.
Hey.
Yeah, Julius, this is Orlando. I'm giving you a call from the Benefits Center here in San Antonio. The reason I'm giving you a call is because we have received a request you sent in here for the Texas life insurance information. You wrote down your date of birth as April 17th of 1976. Is that correct?
Yes.
Great, Julius. I was just calling to let you know they have processed your request, and I am the underwriter that has been assigned to your case. So I wanted to introduce myself, but do me a favor, grab a pen and paper. I don't got a lot of time. This is going to take 5 minutes just to get this knocked out. Let me know when you're ready, Julius. I'll wait and I'll stay quiet. Okay. And now the way that I'm going about it is I'm putting the client in a position in which, hey, I wanted to introduce myself. I'm the person that's been assigned to help you out, right? But I don't got a lot of time because I got a lot of other people that I got to help out. So I need you to do this real quick and grab a pen and paper. I'll get this knocked out in 5 minutes. Do I know it's going to take longer than 5 minutes? Yes, 1000%. But I just needed to make it attractive enough for the client to jump into the conversation so I can get them engaged. The first 7 seconds of the call are going to be crucial if you're doing virtual, and your tonality is going to be crucial as well. So you want to remain monotone, but not too monotone to the point that you sound dead. And, when we're in the field, monotone is the way to go, right? Now, of course, when you're working virtual, you're not going to see these people face to face. And tonality is 80% of communication over the phone. 20% is going to be what you say. The other 80% is going to be the way that you say it. So you have to make sure you're delivering information in a type of way that makes you look as a professional and a busy professional at that. That way you're gaining control throughout the call. So yeah, Julius, grab that pen and paper. Let me know when you're ready. I'll wait.
All right, got it.
Okay, perfect. So now we're going to gain credibility. Okay, Julius, I need you to do me a favor. Write down my full name, Orlando, like the city in Florida, Martinez. Let me know if you need help spelling that out. And right below that, I'm going to give you my license number, which is 1954564.
Okay.
With that number, you can go ahead and look me in the Department of Insurance website. The state does require me to leave that with you. Okay. And later down the call, we can actually give the Department of Insurance a call if we have to. Why do I say this? Because if I'm working the hours, the prime time hours, which are going to be 7:30 to 4 o'clock, right? During that time, you're going to mostly catch a lot of senior citizens that might be a little bit sketched out of doing things over the phone. Well, guess what? I don't have an issue when I'm asking for your bank info to call the Department of Insurance and verify my information, you know? So that's something that I like to throw in there myself. And then after I give them that information, hey, Julius, go ahead and read that number back to me. 1950. Okay, great. Sounds good. So Julius, the way this works is very simple. I'm what they call a field underwriter with the state, which basically means that I have access to all of the life insurance companies across the state of Texas. My job is just to ask you a couple medical questions and find out which companies would right off the bat decline you and which ones you might have a slim chance of getting approved for. Once I take a look at those companies, I'll see which one's offering you the lowest rate, and we're going to go ahead and fill out an application and request an approval for coverage. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the way that you set the table. When you're doing this over the phones, you still got to set the table, guys, and you got to set the right expectations. So later down the road, you're not getting hung up because you're filling out an application and the client didn't know that you were filling one out, you know, so you want to set the right expectations.
So let's pause and kind of unpack that a little bit, right? So you get into it, you tell them, hey, it's going to take 5 minutes, grab a pen and paper. Now, if they say, hey, I can't right now, what do you say?
So I can't right now, I'm busy.
Yeah, I can't right now. I'm driving.
Oh, yeah, Julius. Yeah, no worries. Just pull off to the side of the road real quick. I don't got a lot of time. This is exactly what we need to get this taken care of. It's going to take 5 minutes. If you don't have a piece of paper and pen, that's fine.
Yeah, I can't pull over right now, man. I'm on my way to a meeting.
Okay, perfect. So in that case, I do have to do a call back, but I'm not going to set an appointment. Because if you set an appointment, you're burning the lead, right? So, yeah, Julius, around what time are you usually getting home?
I usually get done with work about 5, so I'm usually home around 5:30-ish.
Usually, is that worst case scenario? What's worst case scenario looking like?
Probably 6.
Probably 6. Okay, Julius. So I have a very packed schedule and I have a lot of people to try to get back to. So I'm going to try. I can't give you any promise. I'm going to try to give you a call past 6 o'clock, but no promises. Just be looking out for this phone number, 210, whatever my phone number is that I'm calling from. Just be on the lookout for that number. I'm going to try to give you a call, but I'm not going to make any promises, okay? All right. I'll try my best to get you taken care of. Why am I going to do that? If I book an appointment, they're not going to show up, you know?
And so then you leave it open so you can just try them after 6 at any time and or probably the following day or whatever, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I like to follow up actually the following day, because if I catch them right around 6:30, something like that, I give them a call. They're like, oh, yeah, we spoke yesterday. Yeah, I told you, man, I was very busy. And thankfully, I'm able to get back to you now, but I don't got a lot of time. So do me a favor, grab that pen and paper and we'll get this knocked out.
So it's interesting because I think one of the things when I think about the calls that our agents are doing now that they're trying to transition to virtual, and one of the things I hear you say a lot in just this few minutes we've been talking is you're stressing that you're busy, that you don't have a lot of time, right? And I don't think agents are doing that enough because we do that when we're booking an appointment, but I don't hear agents doing that as much when they're trying to do a virtual sale. So it's understanding like, hey, I'm busy just like you're busy. Let's go ahead and get this knocked out. Takes 5 minutes. And so that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
Yeah. So let me break down the mentality where that comes from, because you can act like you're busy, but if you don't know the mentality behind it, you're not going to be able to adapt it. So I was doing the math the other day, right? I wrote $3,500 over the phone and I did the math on that day on what I was making per second. I was making 8 cents per second, which is not a lot, you know, but for a 20-year-old, it is. That's over $250 an hour. So when I was breaking it down, I told myself, dude, you're more busy than these people. Don't let them walk over you. You're the person that has to remain in control this entire time, because we can have Joe Gutierrez over here, for example, you know, and he's calling the phone and he's trying to get on the side of the client and do whatever it works for them and all this stuff, and then he's not going to write any premium because of it. And now it's not that he's not making money. That's not the real issue. The real issue lies that now families are not getting protected, because that's our job. The money is really just a byproduct. We have to think about our clients first, right? So Julius, if I'm calling you and you're giving me a hard time, I'm going to be very stern. I'm going to be upfront. Yeah, Julius, I'm very busy. I don't got a lot of time. Go ahead, grab a pen and paper. This takes 5 minutes. Oh, I'm busy right now. I'm busy as well. That's exactly why I'm giving you a call. We got to get this knocked out right now. I'm not going to be able to do it later. Let me know when you're ready. I'm going to keep always be closing. The first thing I got to close them on is grabbing that pen and paper. If they're driving, of course, that's something you can't control. Most people are not going to pull over to the side of the road because they're probably going to a meeting, something like that. It's worth a try.
Okay. And so if they get a pen and paper, chances are they're staying on the phone, hearing you out, going through it. And if they're not, then you're just following up.
Yes.
And you're just assuming it. You're assuming it the whole way. I'm
assuming everything the whole way. Assumption is huge over the phone, just like it is at home, and you still got to find the why. Basically, the virtual sales presentation is exactly the same thing as it is in homes, but it's more simplified. Like, I don't go through the whole financial inventory sheet. I just ask them basic questions. I do power questions.
So walk us through that, because that's big, right? So for me, I've been doing everything in the home, 90% of my time here. I've done some virtual sales too, but I go through my same process, which is the financial inventory. And I ask, 95% of what's on there. So when you're doing virtual sales, what are you really asking on the financial inventory sheet? What's the version that you ask?
Yeah, so it's just the medical questions, but we'll do something else called power questions. So before I even get into asking the medical questions, I'll be like, yeah, Julius, do you have a good email that you know how to navigate through? I have juliusgilger1@gmail.com. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, you have access to that email?
I do.
Great, wonderful. Now I know that I can go with America, because some carriers, the two main carriers that you're going to use over virtual is going to be America, and it's going to be Aetna. Majority of the time. Aetna is going to make things super fast for you, especially if you're working with older people. But now that I know that, next question I'm going to ask, all right, Julius, now have you been trying to get this taken care of for a while now, or am I the first person you've been able to talk to about this?
Okay, so you're asking if they've applied for insurance before, basically.
Yeah, I'm asking you how long they've been looking around. They might tell me they have been looking around for 6 months. Okay, Julius, now what's kind of been the issue? Have you been getting declined, or you haven't been able to find something within your budget?
Okay.
And then they'll tell me. If they haven't looked around, I'm the first person. Great. Now I'll say the way that it works is very simple. I have access to all of the companies. I'm basically a one-stop shop. Now, Julius, are you working 9 to 5 or are you retired?
Working 9 to 5.
Working 9 to 5. Okay. And that's being deposited into your bank account like most people. You don't have a prepaid card?
Correct.
Okay. Now I know he has a bank account. Now I know I don't have to write AIG unless this dude is very, very unhealthy. And I don't have to write John Hancock or Prosperity. I know that I can go with a regular, carrier that uses routing and account number.
So you're more or less pre-qualifying on the front end on things that could come up on the back end, so you don't run into issues.
Yes, exactly. 1,000%. 1,000%. Because you don't want to be on the phone. And this has happened to me a couple of times in the beginning. You don't want to be in the phone for 30 minutes explaining the whole process. And then at the end, they don't have a bank account. You get the social, you get everything, but they don't have a bank account. Because if you're breaking it down, if you're spending 30 minutes with somebody and you're making 8 cents a second, you're multiplying that by 60. That's $48 an hour, right? No, $48 a minute. I did the math wrong. Either way, end of the day,
48 per minute, and then times that by 30.
Yeah, you're just losing money, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So.
Okay, so the main key questions are: do you have an email? Verify their email. 2, have you tried to do this before? How long have you been looking for coverage? And then, have you not been successful, right? Whatever the wording is there. And then, you're asking if they're working, and if they're working, okay, great. Is that deposited into a bank account or
a prepaid card, direct express card? That question is more for people that are on Social Security, because a lot of the people we talk to are on Social Security. So then the next step, of course, is going to be breaking down that process. The way this works is very simple. I work with all of the 200 carriers in the state. My job is just to find the one that's going to give you the lowest rate, and of course, is going to approve you, right? That's the whole process right there. Lay out the expectations. Let them know that you're going to be filling out an application with them while you're on the phone, requesting an approval for coverage. And then the main thing that I want to go over is the main rebuttals that you're going to get, which is going to be social rebuttals or it's going to be bank account rebuttals, right? So, all right. Yeah, Julius, what's your social?
Well, so hold on. Let's take a step back, right?
Yeah, let's go
So
ahead.
are you, because yes, I agree. Social, you're going to get pushback sometimes from social and banking, right? Do you
Yes,
do anything to set the stage that they're going to need to provide that information on the front end?
I don't. I
You
don't.
don't. So
I
talk to us about that. What does that mean?
So pretty much the way that I do it is just I assume everything is gonna go my way from the beginning of the call. You know, like if I can get Julius to grab a pen and paper, guys, my mentality is this guy is closed from the very beginning. You know, and you gotta visualize yourself closing the deal and saying, Julius, congratulations, you've been approved for the coverage. Okay, you should receive your policy paperwork in a couple of days. Now, before I submit this, though, I want to make sure you're serious. You know, and you're gonna solidify the sale. That's how you have to visualize the way the call is gonna go. Okay. So every time that I'm asking for a crucial piece of information, I don't get nervous because I know it's for the application, right? So your tonality cannot change. If I'm talking this way the entire phone call, when I ask for the social, I have to talk the same way. I can't be like, yeah, and Julius, what's your social? Now you sound weird. And when you sound weird, they're not confident in you as a professional, and they're not going to give you the information. A lot of these things is not about what you say, it's how you're saying it and how you're making somebody feel. And you have to seek to understand before you seek to be understood. And the way that the mind of the client works is from the very beginning, they're going to test you. They're going to try to test you. Who is this person? Why are they calling me? What do they want from me? You know, they're getting bombarded with telemarketing calls and sometimes scam calls from the IRS and this and this and that. So when you're asking for the social and the bank info, you have to be very stern with your voice and your tone. And you have to make sure that you're being as level as possible. So one thing that, for example, Thomas, one of Jaquan's guys, one thing he does is super simple. So he'll run through the application, verify the information. Oh, I have your email as this. Is that correct, Julius?
Yep.
Okay. And you listed your previous address as 123 Main Street. Is that still correct?
Yep.
Okay, great. And I know we're on the phone. This is a silly question, but I want to verify again. 480, boom, 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 boom. That's the right number?
Yep.
Okay. And are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
Okay. What's your social?
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, and
then if they give you a rebuttal, they're going to be like, what do you need that for your application? If they give you a direct question, give them a direct answer. It's for their application. If they want to dive deeper into it because it's a real concern for them, they're going to. And then at that point, you're going to have to overcome the rebuttal by saying that's how they're going to look into your medical records and make a decision whether they're going to approve you or not. What's your social again? You know, and if after that they don't want to give you the information, just call the Department of Insurance, get them on the line, verify the information.
Got it. So let me make sure I hear you correctly.
1,000%.
So you are going to, on the front end, you are telling them that you're going to apply for coverage once we find the best option at the best price, right? So yes. You're giving them a heads up that we're going to apply, right? And when you tell them that, most people understand when you're doing an application, whether it's for life insurance or health insurance or any type of application, generally there's information that people need to provide that's personal information. So it's not uncommon to ask for these things, right? So yeah. you don't go in and say, well, I need, social, driver's license, and banking info, right? Like you're not saying that. So you're just assuming the deal the whole way through. Once you get into the application, just like you do it in the home. Okay, are you a citizen? Yes. Okay, great. What's your social? Mm-hmm. And then when they ask, well, what do you need it for? Instead of giving them a long drawn out answer, you just give them a very direct answer for your application. Yeah. And then if they have further questions, well, why do you need that on my application? Well, in order for the insurance company to determine if you're eligible, they need to pull your medical records. So what's your social? So it's very short, sweet, concise, and you're answering their question without over explaining. I think sometimes people, and especially when in the telesales world, they try to over explain, and then it probably puts someone on the defense, right? Because they're like, well, now, there's a lot of scams out there and there's people that are trying to get my information. How do I know you're not one of them? And then you're saying, okay, well, let's really level up my credibility and let's get the Department of Insurance on the line, and they can verify that I'm a licensed agent in your state versus you, correct?
1,000%. And that's like the last straw. That's like the, okay, I gotta pull this because if not, I'm not gonna be able to move forward. And if they don't get on the phone, if they don't want to do that with the Department of Insurance, then first of all, your credibility has already fell through. You didn't cement it enough.
Or they're
So
not serious.
yeah, or they're not serious. And that's good. Like, not everybody you're going to get on the phone with, you're going to close, right? But if you do the same process and you lay out the table the same way and you set the expectation of what's going to happen, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have an issue. I really don't get issues with the social, but I will get issues with banking. And the way that I do banking is super simple. Oh, Julius, I'm sorry. Well, let me run this back. So I'm going now, got everything done. Oh, application is looking good, Julius. Now, are you going to be linking this to a checkings or savings account?
Checking.
Okay. Who do you bank with?
Wells Fargo.
Wells Fargo. Okay. So once I pull this up on your application, I'll look at your state. Did you open this account in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the routing number is popping up as 1234556. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What's the account number? You can go ahead and give me a rebuttal.
Why do I have to give you that?
For your application. What's the account number?
I don't know if I'm comfortable doing that.
Oh, Julius, I understand. I'm sorry. I must have confused you. So I'm asking for the numbers that are below the numbers on the check that you give out to people when somebody mows your grass or when you're paying somebody. Those are the numbers on the check. I'm not asking you for your debit card numbers. That you should never give out to anybody. What's your account number again?
But I don't know if I want to give out my account number. Isn't that, I don't know if that's safe. I don't know,
Yeah, 1,000%. So have you ever written a check for anybody?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's the same concept. You're just giving out a check. That way they can validate your identity because you can't get life insurance under somebody else's account. That's illegal. So what's your account number?
123, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I try to keep things very simple in the beginning. And then if they want to go deeper into it, like you just did, they're going to go deeper into it. They're not just going to hang up as soon as you ask for the account number. They want to defend themselves. People want to defend themselves. So if they feel like you're attacking them somehow, they're going to defend themselves. Why do you need that for your application? I don't feel comfortable. I'm going to, explain. Those are the numbers below the check. Not your debit card number. Don't give that out to anybody. At the worst case scenario, one that I will always use is, Julius, you already gave me your social, which is the most important number that you currently have. These are the numbers that are below on the checks that you give out to people. So what's your account number?
So you make it you kind of normalize it, right? So it's like, hey, when you hand out a check, right? If I was sitting in front of you, you'd write me a check and that information's on a check, right? So it's no different than doing that. We're just doing it over the phone so we can go ahead and help you, right? So it really normalizes, hey, it's just the same numbers that are on the bottom of your check.
Yeah. People are buying everything over the phone nowadays,
How much pushback do you get with that?
With the account?
Yeah, just payment info. Yeah.
Honestly, I'll probably get out of 5 calls, I'll probably get 1 or 2 that are giving me some pushback, and out of 5 calls, there's going to be always one that's going to hang up, and that's okay. That just means move on to the next. But when you get that rebuttal, like, what you have to do is you stay calm, like if you're starting to get a little bit worried about why I'm asking you for your account info, and now I sound like I'm worried too, you're just going to hang up. That's just a huge red flag. Mm-hmm. I'm going to sound weird, It's like, yeah, no, I need this for your application to see if you've been approved. And no, you got to be stern. You got to keep the same level of confidence and tonality on the phone, because if not, you're not going to trust me.
Yeah.
If they've already trusted you with the social, they're going to trust you with a bank account as long as you ask correctly.
Yeah, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, generally speaking, once you get the social, the banking account is not going to be an issue.
Yeah.
More often than not.
Yeah, probably not.
Guys, if you guys are getting value out of what Orlando is spitting here, drop a 22, since this man did 22K in the month of October. Drop a 22 in the chat to show the man some love for pouring into us. All right, so do you do anything else in terms of credibility? Because we always talk about in the home, increase your credibility, lower your sales pressure. Is there anything else you do for increasing credibility outside of giving them your license number?
I give them my license number. I explain to them they can look me up in the Department of Insurance website, or we can go ahead and 3-way them into the call later. And that's what I'll do mainly for credibility. Now, the way that I'll also create more credibility indirectly is going to be just building a little bit of rapport. Get to know your client a little bit. You know, like when I'm asking for the medical information, okay, you have these conditions, etc. Now, Julius, I swear to God, this is the part of my job that I hate. It makes me very uncomfortable. And I will say that up front because that's going to make the client know, oh, wow, he's going to get into some serious things. He's uncomfortable with this. Let me help him out a little bit, you know? God forbid you passed away yesterday. Who's the person handling things for you? Maria? Okay, now I know that Maria's handling things. I'm going to save that on notes. You want to have a notepad or you want to on phone burner, write it on the notes, whatever. Track as much information so you can use it later. That's your ammunition. So okay, so you fill this out for Maria. You don't want her to come out of pocket, final expenses. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I gotcha. And then, you know, get to know them a little bit and give them a little bit of you. And, you know, one thing I love to do when you're writing an Americo app, for example, before you even get the social, I'm going to ask for their height and weight, you know, even though I'm not there yet, I'm going to ask for it and put it down. And then, oh, you're 6 foot, Julius? Dude, that's insane. I'm 5'7", 5'8" on a good day. That's what I tell the ladies, you know, and I'll crack a little joke, make fun of myself, just like Sean Mike says, and they're going to laugh and they'll guard this down, you know. Be serious, be confident, and be stern with your tone of voice, but don't be afraid to throw a couple jokes in there. That way you don't seem like a sergeant or something, you know. Let them know that you're a real, genuine person.
Yeah, so you want to be a real person. You don't want to be a robot, but you want to be authentic, right? And just be you, right? Be you.
Be you. Yeah.
Cool, man. This is money. This is really money. I mean, I see why you're successful in this and why it's working. So what do you do when you wrap up the call, right? Because obviously you go through, you did the application, you submitted it. Do you tell them they're approved on the phone if you got an approval? And then two, how do you cement the sale to make sure that, you know, the policy actually sticks and it goes through?
For sure. So Edna has a security question for the signature. In Americo, you have to actually get them to sign over the email. If I'm writing an Americo, I'm going to get them to sign before I begin the process of solidifying. Worst case scenario, which this never has happened to me, is after I solidify, they're like, yeah, no, I don't want it. Boom. And I have to withdraw. That's never happened to me. But Julius, so I just got done signing for you, sign on my end, you sign on your end, says approved. So I'll say on the call, I'll be like, yeah, Julius, so I'm going to press this button here. It's going to let me know if you've been approved or not. We'll give it a couple seconds. And then I'll just kind of chat up a little bit. You got any plans for later today, Julius?
No.
No. Okay, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I'm not doing a whole lot of anything except working. And oh, wow. Hey, Julius.
Yeah.
And I'll build suspense. I'll say it just like that. Yeah, Julius, congratulations, dude. You've actually been approved for the coverage. Okay. So now whenever you pass away, your wife, Mary, doesn't have to worry about coming out of pocket $20,000 for your funeral. Now, before I submit this, I like to be very straightforward, Julius. I have a life insurance policy myself, and sometimes it just seems like it's money taken out of the bank account. But here's the reality. Whenever you do pass away, I'm going to be taking your place financially. I'm going to make sure that Mary has everything that she needs to take care of your funeral and final expenses, but I can't do it by myself. So before I submit this, I want to make sure that you're serious about protecting your wife, Mary, and that you're going to keep this policy activated so that whenever something does happen, Mary can give me a call and I can help her file a claim. That way everything is taken care of. Are you serious about protecting Mary?
Oh, for sure.
Do I have your verbal consent to submit this application so they can begin the process of getting your paperwork?
Yes.
Boom. That's how I'll cement it. And I'll just be very straight up with them because it's what we do. It's what we do, guys.
Okay, so now they're approved. You did that. What do you send them anything at the end after you're done? Do you send them your number, brochures, emails? What does that look like?
Yeah, so I'll tell them, yeah, Julie, so this number I'm calling you from, I'm always switching numbers because I do have to reach out a lot of people, right? So this, I'm going to give you my personal line, which I always carry with me. That way, if you ever need anything, you can give me a call, 402-612-9007, which that is my actual number, guys. So if you guys want to shoot me a text later, you guys can. And that's what I'll give to them.
One more time?
Yeah, 402-612-9007. And I'll have the client read that back to me. Okay, Julius, great. Go ahead and save that number in your contacts. I'm going to shoot you a text right now as a fact. That way it makes it easier on you. Go the extra mile for them. And then just say something as simple. Hey, Julius, it can be Christmas Day. But if your family has an emergency, If you have something that's going on that you need my help with, don't hesitate to give me a call, you know? And when your client calls, don't be afraid to answer, you know, because one of two things is going to happen. Worst case scenario, they want to cancel. And if you don't answer, they're going to cancel either. But if you answer, you can save the deal. Well, Julius, you know, and this never happens to me. I've never had a client call me, tell me they want to cancel, because when I'm solidifying, I do it in a very direct, emotional way, which is, Julius, when you're gone, dude, I'm taking your place. I'm going to be the person that's there for Mary, you know? I'm going to make sure everything is okay for you and your family. So, but I need to make sure you do your part.
Got it.
And that you just got to be transparent. Transparency is going to win. People are going to make decisions based on clarity. You know, when I was at my old company before I came to FFL, I just needed clarity. And I called Josh and he gave me clarity. And I made the jump right away. I didn't even think of it. Okay. So if you give your clients clarity, your people clarity, you're going to be able to lead them into making a decision that you want them to make.
Okay. So outside of the phone number, you don't do anything else?
No, I'll let them know. I'll have them write down, circle because when I'm pitching the options, right, 30, 20, 25, what 30, 25, 20, I have them circle the one that we're applying for.
Got it. Okay. So they already
tell them the company. Yep. Okay. I just have them write down. Yeah. So this company's for America. Okay. Living benefits. Go ahead and circle that option that we're trying to approve for. And then once at the end, oh, great, you've been approved. So you've been approved for the amount that we have applied for. You know, I'll do my solidification. You have everything that you need for now. In 2 weeks, you're going to receive your policy paperwork in the mail. Give me a call once you receive it. That way I can stop worrying about you.
Okay. And that's it.
That's it. That's it.
Awesome, brother. Well, this is money. Thank you so much for sharing. I mean, I think I took tons of notes. I'm sure people on the team that are watching this live replay are going to get tons of nuggets. Looks like Joe's writing notes. You see there.
Let's go, Joe.
So dude, thank you so much. I mean, I know you and your team are growing. Let's leave it with this, right? Because we're kind of up on time, but I know you're building an agency, you're building a team. Any tips on hiring and recruiting you can leave the team with, and specifically hiring into a virtual organization or a virtual agency?
Be plugged in. Be plugged in with your people. Like if you guys have agents around you, work together in the same location. Because if I'm working right now with, let's say, my boy Dennis, right, who is actually here on the call, and Hansel too, he's on the call. So if I'm with Hansel and he just made a sale, I'm gonna grab my phone. Dude, my friend Hansel just made $1,200 in 30 minutes. Let's go, dude. How was that? I'll ask him some basic questions, and I'll post everything I do on Instagram. Everything. Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, anywhere I have a social platform and a following, I'm going to go ahead and post, because it's weird. Julius, have you ever had somebody hit you up trying to offer you a job?
Of course.
And you know, maybe you did get recruited that way, but at the beginning, isn't it a little bit weird when somebody just texts you, say, hey man, I have a great opportunity for you. Come here and try it out. We have this call. Doesn't that sound a little bit weird?
It can be, for sure.
It can be very weird, but guess what? If I post consistently about people that are around me, that are real people that are winning, because at FFL, we are truly winning. And I post my experience and other people's experiences, and I'm, you know, a new agent, I'm training them and I'm walking them how to make a sale virtually. She makes a sale, I post it. Now people are like, what is it that you do? What are you doing? Because I'll just say how much money you've made, but I won't tell you how. I'll just tell you had a 30-minute phone call. But what's the phone call about? Curiosity kills the cat. They're going to ask you. Eventually, after seeing your posts and your stories over and over again, eventually they're going to hit you up and send you a message. Dude, what is it that you do? Yeah. Julius, I don't got a lot of time. I got 15 minutes before I go into this meeting. What's your number? I'm going to give you a call real quick.
Yeah.
And then I'll get them on the phone. And it's I sent you a voice message. I don't know if you've heard it already, which is an actual live recruiting call. And you can send that out to everybody on your team. That is exactly what I say every time. And it works 100% of the time. If I'm able to get somebody to come into my inbox, message me first, I'm able to get them on the phone with me, and I say those exact same words, they're 100% closed, they're going to go ahead and work with me. Awesome. Because if they're happy with what they're doing, they're not going to hit me up, you know?
Okay. So, dude, that's money. So, guys, use what Orlando's talking about. Social media, all the different platforms is literally free advertising. And yes, what he's doing, if you guys aren't picking up on it, is he's sharing social proof to pique interest, create curiosity, so someone messages him. He's not taking the direct approach of, hey, what's up? You want a job? Hey, what's up? You want a job? Hey, you want to do this, right? He's doing the complete opposite. He's attracting people by sharing success, social proof, and piquing curiosity. And then when they pop up in his inbox, he knows that they're interested. And now it's a matter of using the right word tracks to create more interest and bring them on board. So it's brilliant, dude. And, I see why you're winning. I see why your team is winning, and you guys are building a big agency. So any last things you want to leave us with before we wrap up for today?
FFL is the truth. Just trust the system, trust your leaders. Look, Julius is a beast. He's been a beast for a while now. Do what he tells you to do. What he teaches you to do, because we're not bosses here. We're leaders. Mm-hmm. So if you guys really want to grow an agency and create some real wealth in this industry, FFL is the place to go. Because I've been with another company prior to this, and I can tell you this opportunity is 1,000-fold way better than what I had before. And if you come from another company, you'd be able to understand that. So be grateful for what you have and just keep working and working, and you'll get to where you want to be. That's it.
Orlando, I appreciate you, my man, more than you know. Pleasure to connect with you. Thank you for pouring into me and our team more so. And I look forward to seeing you grow. I look forward to seeing your success. And if there's anything I can do to repay you, brother, just give me a holler. You know the number.
1,000%. No worries, man. Well, it's been a pleasure helping you guys out today. 402-612-9007. If you guys need to give me a call, anything, shoot me a text, save me in your contacts. Just let me know.
Cool, guys. All right. FFL to the moon. 1 billion in FFL. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Peace out, guys.
Bye.